Ladies, you ready? Folks, please join me with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, welcome to the Town of Canandaigua Planning Board meeting. This is the rescheduled meeting from October 28th. It got moved to tonight, and thank you for following the movement, and we're able to sit in. We're going to follow the agenda as published. I will introduce, since there are some new faces here, I'll introduce the folks sitting up front here. Over my far right is Kim Burkett. She's our remote access facilitator. Careen Hatch is our recording secretary behind us. Board members here this evening are Mark Tolbert, Amanda Van Laken, Bob LaCourse, I'm Chuck Euler. Kristen Smith is our zoning officer. Eric Cooper is our MRB representative. And our attorney is not here tonight, so be gentle, obviously. How we're going to proceed is we'll go through the agenda, as I said, is published. When it comes to part of the agenda that you would like to speak to the board about, please come to the podium, give us your name and address, and give any comments that you may have. Each application will be prefaced with the applicant making a presentation as to their application and address the board. The board will then respond with any questions that they may have regarding the application. I will open it up to the public. That's when it'll be your chance to come up and address the board. And then we'll conclude our deliberations and hopefully come to some sort of agreement tonight as far as action. I will now ask for anybody in the audience here or in digital land as far as any item that you'd like to discuss regarding that's not on the agenda. It's our privilege of the floor. Is there anyone here or there that would like to talk to the board? If not, let's go right into the agenda. We had no legal notices that we had to publish for this meeting. Most of the hearings are continued hearings, and the remainder of the applications are all site plans not requiring hearings. So let's move to CPN 2025-067. Anthony Venezia representing a property owner 2314 Brickyard Road involving a subdivision of one lot into three lots.
Are we tabling that? I thought you just said that was tabled for. Yes.
It is. I'm just.
Oh, it is one lot into three.
Okay. You were successul at the ZBA
Correct.
last month.
Yes.
And as our usual policy, we wait till the first meeting of the following month. Being that this is the last meeting of the last month, it'll be continued to our meeting on November 12th.
Okay.
So can I have a motion to continue this application to our next meeting next week? Okay. For discussion, if not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Okay, next application is 2025-069. Marcelo Battisti owns property at 3542 Sandy Beach Drive. Mr. Battisti would like to put a two-story addition on a pre-existing non-conforming single-family dwelling in the RLD district. And I think it was resolved that it would not expand the non-conformity. Originally, I guess it was going to, but then it was amended to
Correct.
conform and fit within the existing footprint.
Yep. The original plan had us expanding the non-conformity to the south, a little bump out. That did not go our way. We didn't get the variance, so we redesigned the house to stay within the existing footprint of the deck. So it'll be tearing out the deck and then rebuilding with a two-story addition. So there's not going to be any more lot coverage in there or building coverage. It's all existing because it's a deck. This is part of an existing project that Marcello built a few years back. He did a tear down rebuild. After a couple of years of use with the family, they've decided that there's more of an advantage to the building for the way they use it to enclose that deck and use it as a two-story expansion of the existing residence. all the same utilities, will be no new utilities, so we're gonna keep the same water and sewer connection, everything will stay within that footprint. And then we're gonna tie into the existing stormwater management system, or the stormwater drains that are on site. So pretty much everything's gonna stay the same, except there's gonna be a two-story addition where the deck is.
Okay, so everything as far as lot coverage stays the same,
Exactly the same.
setbacks are all the same.
Correct.
Essentially what you're doing is replacing a deck with a upper level and I believe a enclosed area
Yep,
underneath.
it's basically, we're taking the west edge of the house, or west edge of the house, and extending it out over the deck.
Okay,
The deck would just be replaced. There'd be no extra decking or patio. It's, that's exactly what you're gonna see.
Anthony, when the building was approved originally back, was it 2020? When was the original, when was the house? built?
2018, maybe,
2018?
2019.
Okay.
It's been a few years.
What was the provisions as far as stormwater management that was?
Originally, what they did, because of the way that, I believe Hanlon did the site plan at that time, they reduced most of the coverage on the site from what was there, so they did not do stormwater management. So right now, there's just a small area drain, and the roof leaders go to an underground system that goes to the lake. That's what it is currently, and that's what was approved. So we were gonna tie into that system.
Yeah, was that system shown on the plan? I don't recall seeing
The
any.
existing system isn't, yeah, it is. There's a, you can see it, there's a 6-inch drainage pipe that runs parallels on the north and the south. And the existing down leaders tie into it, and we're gonna tie back into that system
Oh, yeah, okay.
currently.
This one had some mystery pipes running around the property. I think we were. Some we're seeing either coming out through the break wall or because that 6-inch pipe goes right through the break wall, right?
Correct. And that's the way it was approved back when they did the testing.
Yeah, it's coming back to me now.
Yeah.
I recall the discussion.
Mhm.
As always, we're concerned about the stormwater going in toward the lake. Okay, board, open it up to you.
I don't know if I talked to you about it the last time I went out there. Is this gonna knock off any view from the surrounding houses? Cause it's coming out to a 2-story versus a deck. It's going out past a couple.
I mean, if you
Either
could, can you
side.
pull up the, like, an aerial picture?
You want encore?
Yeah, that would.
Okay. Actually, I can just pull it up on the, I'll just do it.
Yeah, can you switch over to like aerial?
Yeah. If you want, of course.
I mean, there are some views that I guess would be cut off, if you will. On the south, there's a large hedge, and I know there's a willow tree there that's been tampered with. But that picture, it's another picture, the break wall along the frontage, he's reduced that, so that's not there anymore. That was a recent thing, he cut that all out, so that's where.
Chuck mentioned it as the direct line. I mean, yes, it's approved back then, but
No, I understand. I didn't take pictures from the neighbors looking in the north or south direction.
no, I was talking about more about the mitigation of the water going straight in.
No, I understand.
We would rather have that slow down a little bit.
Okay. I mean, we can
A little
put
bit.
in a dry well to catch what's the addition.
That would be the best thing,
Yeah.
other than just a straight shot in it.
Well, we can definitely look at that. We can-
I'm still wondering, I went out there the other day and I was doing on either house, kind of see if there was gonna be a break, north or south.
I don't think it's major.
It's past the
But that's
other
not
houses
too bad.
around it, the only thing.
It's still within the setback what's allowed.
Yeah.
I mean, if we were to tear the house down to build it today, we could still do that. All the way up front, so it's within the setback.
Setback is what, 30?
For that size lot, I believe so.
You should have 27. 27 and 31, depending on what corner. you're
Right.
in. Those are my two.
And you can see from the Encore, like there's that large row of, I think there are arborvitaes or some sort of shrub that's kind of cuts that south side off.
Right.
Okay, the ECB had concerns about the landscaping, put up the landscaping plan.
Mhm.
Kim. Did you see the ECB's recommendations at all, Anthony?
Oh, I didn't grab them yet. I think was the landscape plan part of the site package in this PDF or was it separate? Separate. Yeah, there's.
Okay,
We're doing some shrubberies around the base of our typical grasses and things around the face of the house that's gonna be rebuilt, and then a small tree on the southwest. And then we're just kind of emphasizing what's there in general.
okay, it just, and I think ECB brought it up that it's sort of looking at that thing at first hand, it almost looks like anything that's on the neighbor's property, the willow tree and the shrubbery is part of your,
Well, just kind of showing, the
what's there.
landscape architect likes to emphasize the whole area. It's not like we're just looking at
Mhm.
one parcel as we, traverse the lake.
So as far as the applicant's concerned, the only thing he's adding is that one,
Shrubbery and a tree.
the tree. Did you look at the back of that? I didn't get to the back of the house. Did you walk around? How did the lakeside?
Well, that willow tree is about dead now.
Yeah.
Not as big as it's in that drawing.
But that's on neighbors.
Yeah, the hedgerow is there.
Right.
The, it's pretty sparse back there for landscaping now, grass.
Okay, so you're proposing that that shrubbery either side of the walkway.
That'll go in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
ECB recommends the following note be added to the site plan: trimming of shrubs and trees for reasons outside of the health of the plant or mild shaping is against the purposes of the scenic viewshed overlay and shoreline guidelines. Do you have any objection with that being added in the plan?
I don't think so.
Okay,
Makes sense.
to include that, Eric, is a condition. Trying to work on it. Yes, at the bottom, at the bottom of the page. It's in the findings. Okay. Let's see what else we got. So ECB, as I said, is concerned about the landscaping as well as the the tree trimming note. We just talked about that. Including the existing landscape is being considered as part of the proposed shoreline guidelines, but it is there. You're proposing a new tree, you're proposing shrubs. We did see and have in our files a letter from a neighbor, 3546 Sandy Beach.
Yes.
Had a number of concerns,
Mhm.
I guess.
Yeah, we went through it at the zoning board.
The zoning board,
Correct.
and let's just, he was opposing the variances at the time, which were denied.
Correct.
I think it was re-emphasized to us as a planning board that we consider his concerns or their concerns.
Mhm.
As Bob mentioned, they are concerned about blocking the lake view to the north. Construction season, apparently when the original house was redone, a lot of the work occurred during the summer. And I think on Sandy Beach, from other applications, don't they have a covenant or something among the property owners that construction only occurs during the off season?
I mean, I know there's a house right now that was started construction this spring. It's been going on all summer, so I don't know. I mean,
Starting in spring.
it started last spring. It was the Chase residence. I know that Marcello is planning on getting going pretty fast on this.
So most of the construction be during.
It'll
the
be
winter.
done by the summer of next year, because it's not a major. You're gonna
Mhm.
dig it out, put the foundations up, and just get it framed in, and it's gonna take a few months.
I guess there were some issues with the contractor, as far as, trespassing on the property. Some trees that were removed without his approval. He did mention drainage onto his property. Is that is there anything that you're, how about the downspouts on the south side?
The only thing, everything goes underground at the house.
Okay,
So everything goes on the house, goes underground, and goes to the lake.
so that's that dotted line along the foundation.
Yeah, that shows the 6-inch drainage.
So nothing from the house or the addition would,
No,
Drain
we'll
itself.
pipe this stuff on we'll put a dry well probably on the northwest corner somewhere to mitigate the additional runoff from the deck.
I think part of the water issues were created with the addition of the pavement that happened up in the middle, I guess, the other side.
There was some pavement that was in and got taken out as well, so. I mean, there are some wetlands on the east side that just in general, Sandy Beach, I mean. There's water issues up and down that, just, it's not just from the houses, it's more from the whole community in general being so low.
Yeah, I mean, I walk through there all the time. And that
It's
is an area
usually
that
pretty wet.
is, but it was also in our, let's say, the various services that, so that.
It does lead to it, but we're not, we're not doing splash blocks. We are trying to get it to the lake, but we will do our part for the deck addition for stormwater.
Chuck, do we know the circumstances with access on that thoroughfare, I guess?
circumstances?
Well, just so right now, are those each individual properties or is it a shared access? Is there an easement? That's what I couldn't. find.
There's a private 12-foot wide driveway that's there. It's an agreement. I don't know if they have like a maintenance agreement on it, but it's an access.
Does it run through the property or does it end at the property? line?
It runs through the properties. So the properties more in general are split by that 12-foot right away. So that's another thing we had to look at with the zoning board was to make sure we weren't over 50% coverage on the lakeside.
With the new regs, yeah.
Correct.
So I know that that's also a regular, it's not related to a build, that's a regular concern related to blockage.
It is a narrow for construction. I mean, we can propose some pull-off areas that will get reconstituted back to grass when we're done.
And I'm sure we talked about this back in 17, 18 when the house was built too. And I think there is some sort of document or agreement among the property owners to.
I know that
maintain
there's
it.
been talk of it, like when we usually do it, it's like, we're gonna try to get it done in the
Well,
off
that's right.
season. That is the plan for this.
This handshake agreement that no construction occurred during the peak season as far as the spring and summer months. That's, again, I think something that the homeowners had agreed upon. They agree upon who maintains it, plows it, and I guess it's very loosey-goosey.
So it's an old,
all very old. Yeah.
like they all are.
Yep. One of those private drives that we
Don't like those anymore.
have to live with. Okay, the other thing on the elevation view, I think it was a concern of the, again, the neighbor to the south. The wall, essentially the wall facing the neighbor to the south is essentially a couple windows at the top and the rest of it's a full wall. You go around the other side of the house and there's a bank of windows on that first floor.
Okay.
I know originally you were planning on a set of stairs that go up.
Right?
Was that, the reason that
stairs-
wall was blank was the stairs came,
Yeah.
now the stairs have come out.
Right.
Is there a possibility of, putting a window?
I can talk to the architect to see what the options are. At least maybe add one.
Is the board familiar with them?
You'd have to pull it up so I can take a look at it. Like I said, I didn't design the house.
It's the one side, and
South
there's-
side.
that's the south side. And they used to have a set of steps that would go.
Right,
up.
that's right.
So obviously you wouldn't have steps in front of the window, but now the steps are gone. I think that would sort of break up the prison wall look, I guess, so to speak, of that south side.
I will say on that side, it's all hedges on that side, on the neighbor's lot.
I could definitely talk to the architect about it and take it in advice, see what I can do.
Board have anything else to talk about before I open it up? Okay, I will open it up to the public. Anyone like to address the board regarding this application? Yes, sir.
If it's
Give me-
possible, there's a lot of clarifications to be done first before
Well, give
I
me your
read my
name and
statement.
address.
Okay, I'm Chris Farrader, this is my wife Leslie. We've
Hi,
been at
folks.
3546. How are you?
Okay,
For 33 years.
did I address your letter?
You hit a
correctly?
lot of the points. I appreciate that
and you're
very
here for
much. And I'm not gonna belabor those at all, but there's a lot of things that were just talked about just now that need to be corrected. The break wall, I guess, that you mentioned isn't there, is still there. It's a big metallic break wall. Yeah, thank you very much.
The break walls are the large section of concrete.
Part of the concrete's been removed, not all of it. So maybe half of the concrete's been removed. Okay. Let's see. The encore picture you
Excuse me,
see,
and what does that have to do with this application? Sorry.
well, it was part of his presentation, so I just want to make sure you guys have the correct record. Okay, the deck that you see in that picture
Mhm.
is at 10 feet from our property line. The current application, they want to build, they've extended their deck without town approval, without permit. It's at 7'10" from our house right now. So that was done without town approval. They've since expanded it again towards the water, the high water line. Both of those were done without town approval. So that picture is an older picture. That's not a current picture of the house. If you see where the chimney, the little white box at the bottom is,
Mhm.
that's how far their deck comes out. It matches the chimney at this point. Okay, so technically they're in violation because they didn't ask for approval to come any closer than 10 feet. And right now they're at 7'10" to the south side of their deck. And that's what they're considering their pre-existing nonconformity. But the pre-existing deck was 10 feet. That was the original build of the house. That's what the town approved. They have not approved anything since then. Okay. The shrubs that you see on our property line, you can see through. From the top, they look solid, but it's a tree. They have branches. You can see through them. You can see the water. Air flows through. Okay. All their trees on their property were removed when they built their house. There's probably half a dozen trees behind the garage. They cut our willow tree in half. It seems, at least to my wife and I, the fact that they want to add a tree is very disconcerting since they removed two of our live trees also on our property. Okay, somebody referred to our willow tree as dead. It's not dead. We had two companies look at it because we were concerned this year. Something happened on the north side of the tree where all the vegetation on that side was killed off. We called the DEC, we called the New York State Environmental Police to look at it. We had Birchcrest and Birchcrest looked at it and said, it's a willow tree, it'll bounce back. They couldn't explain what happened to it. We have our own feelings as to what happened to it. But we did have a tree arborist come through and he's pruned it up. Looks pretty good right now. Okay, we're very concerned about the health of the tree ourselves, believe me. That's our only shade. And I know the Batistes there wanted to cut that tree down from the get-go and we blatantly refused them. Look at the picture there. You do see the boathouse. And you see our property to the south. That's blocking almost our entire view of the north as it is right now. They come add another 2-story, 24-foot wall high, 16 feet out towards the high water line. That's going to block more of our view to the north. Okay, and yes, we can see through those bushes from our windows in our house. So there's an open air space that's going to be completely blocked by like what I described as a prison-like wall. I'm kind of mixing my two things together now. You mentioned the water issues that were out. If you look at can I point to the map? Is that okay?
Sure.
All right. When they built their house, there was a sewer here, right on the corner of the lot, that allowed water to flow down into wherever that system was, and out the water went. And when they repaved this area, they sloped the driveway towards our property and the neighbor's property to the north. But in the process of their construction, somehow that sewer was disconnected. So any water that was going into that sewer from anything over here went over to our property and turned our property to an ice rink in the wintertime. That was the year after that was built. And we did talk to the town about that. I had a couple guys come out and look at it. Chris Jensen was here at the time. And they both said, well, that's a private sewer. But it was supposed to have been reconnected and it wasn't reconnected. Because a couple of guys from the water authority showed up, just doing their normal inspection. They go, oh yeah, we know what happened. You know, they said, oh yeah, it was disconnected. I'm like, well, you know, we kind of figured because we're skating around in the parking lot.
Chris,
But
in
they
the
did.
Chris, in the interest of time, if you could sort of wrap it up.
Well, I'm just trying to correct
Yeah, but
what we're talking about.
we do have a time limit on. using
Okay, I
it.
understand that. The road in front of the property here that Anthony talked about. Okay. See these two black lines? That's an access road for emergency vehicles. Okay, that is not supposed to be ever blocked off. The access path actually runs all the way to here on some of the older maps. For some reason, it's not on this one, I don't know why. But if our house were to catch on fire, fire trucks would come and most of the time this is blocked off by cars. But this is an official access route. If you're looking.
Again, Chris, I have to ask you, we're
I
trying,
understand completely.
we're trying to address the addition that the
Yep,
applicants proposing.
I just wanted to clarify
What happens in the
some of the
front?
statements. All right, so, okay, now. Here's what I do like to say. We are asking the town to deny this application now and forever, if possible. Okay, we provided detailed information to the zoning board and to you folks. Okay, and we had to pick the main reason that we're asking for denial. It's because it's blocking our view. They're going to continue to block our view. Okay, I mean, with a 24-foot high wall and a 16-foot wide wall, it's going to completely, almost completely block our view to the north from almost any angle from our property. Okay, there's no hardship here. If you look at the size of our house and their house, there's plenty of room. They have their lofted bedroom in their current footprint. There's no reason to be attempting to block more of our view of the lake. They talked about the pre-existing nonconformities, but the owner has created those. Okay, we understand recently the owner applied to the town to add 3 foot to the front of his deck. We don't know whether that's to get some sort of retroactive approval from the board for what he's already done. Okay. But if not, it's a third expansion of their deck that the town has not approved. The nonconformities also on the property are a flagpole that was built. I'm sorry, I have to go back and forth. It was put right here, about 3 feet from our fence line. And it was that much closer to the water line. It's a permanent structure. Again, no permits, no variances. We're gonna ask to have that removed. We're gonna have to have the deck. We'd also like to have that corrected because it's too close to our property already. They put a fence in on the back side, the far east side of the property without a permit. Their chimney bump out is within 8 feet of our property line, which we know nothing about. We'd like to have the town redress all of these conditions.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm not quite done.
I think we get to.
If you get the drift, I
Yep.
appreciate it.
Yep.
Listen, I just want to say, we'd like to enjoy our property the way it is. We've been there 33 years. I appreciate your time and let me go over. I really do. So thank you again.
Alrighty, anyone else like to address the board? Everybody is that. Okay, I guess the one, again, we're looking strictly at what's before us this evening, in addition, replacement of a deck. Whatever the plans show, whether it was 7 foot 10 inches or 10 feet from the setback, whatever the plans show, and I think the plan showed a 10-foot setback, correct? That,
Oh, I'm sorry, they don't. They're.
the plans show a 10-foot setback, Chris.
Anthony, correct me if I'm wrong.
Doing it's existing and my client can produce the building permits for the deck that will produce, you could get them off the cloud with it. He just sent me some screenshots of certificates of compliance with both.
What is the current setback?
I don't know what he's doing out
7.2, 7.10.
7 foot.
Okay,
The original bill was 10 feet.
The house is.
so that was part of one of your non-conformities, right?
Correct.
Okay,
And those were,
so it never met.
when the original house was built,
Mhm.
there was a patio on the lake's front side. The Bajistis went back and they got building permits to do the deck revisions. And he has his certificates of compliance and everything. So he did go through the proper channels. I don't know who the zoning officer was at the time, but he did it the right way. He did get building permits. And because of what he did, he didn't go to planning board because it wasn't a requirement of what he was doing. Now, because of the addition and what he has to do to move dirt
And
or in front
RFP.
of the planning board. So.
So the setback is 7'10",
7-2,
7'2".
7-2 to the deck and 10-8 to the house.
And that is where the existing deck is on the ground today.
Okay. Board, looking for your help on this. So how you'd like to see it go?
My question is, he's not extending any of the non-existing or pre-existing.
This is an extension of the pre-existing.
It is or isn't?
It is.
That's what I'm trying to figure out if it is.
Vertical is a expansion of the existing.
If it is, then with ZBA would have to adjudicate. And I think what the applicant's saying is that because the ZBA denied the variances they had requested, that now you're back in front of us for the site plan approval with all the nonconformities.
Correct, and we're not increasing the nonconformities because we're staying the same height. We're not.
Now, the fact that
I know, I understand what you're saying, because we're going up, but we're not exceeding the current height of the
Footprint.
structure, so we're not
I
exceeding.
lived that very correctly in front of this organization. When I needed to do a modification, I had to move my second floor in to conform to the setbacks. But now this goes back to 2014. I don't think it changed. It was an expansion of the conformity. This entity denied that expansion.
This isn't the one.
I was able to leave the first floor intact. I was not able to expand the second floor.
Kristen, are you?
I'm looking at a building permit for the deck extension, but it's just showing the deck going out towards the mean high water mark, towards the rear lot line. Not
Mhm.
showing the deck getting any closer to the side.
There were two, I think he did 2 building permits. He sent me 2 certificates. I don't know if that'll help.
But the fact that the applicant is changing from a deck to a enclosed porch and a second floor, that is still in compliance with the nonconformity, or is that an expansion of the non?
Yes,
The fact that the applicant is changing from a deck to an enclosed porch with a second floor, is that an expansion of a non-conformity?
As long as they're not moving any closer to the property lines than the current deck.
That was your ZLD, was, so
Yeah.
that was your position. Okay. Well, again, we're not here to argue zoning, that's not our prerogative, we are here to be concerned about shoreline guidelines and drainage and landscaping, and that's primarily the charge of the planning board. From those perspectives, board, how do you feel?
The only problem is if Anthony fixes the other thing is the site to the north. The site distance to the north. That's the only, I went
Oh.
up there and looked at it and it would affect it a little bit, a whole lot. It would affect it.
Well, yeah,
That's the only thing, but it is within the setback.
there's nothing in our code that
I know.
says a neighbor cannot block
Yeah.
the view,
I know, we
as
talked,
long as they're in conformance with the zone. Tell you what, if we could come back to this, you mind if we sort of think about it a little bit, go through some of the other parts of the application, part of the meeting, So these people don't have to wait. And we'll come back and revisit this if you don't mind.
Okay.
Okay, is that okay?
This evening or?
This evening, oh yeah, this evening, yeah. We'll rediscuss it. this evening.
Non-conformity is that it's too close to the lake. And it was just built. There's probably some record of variance, right?
Should be.
So if there
I was
is,
trying to recall.
would there be conditions of that variance?
And then an as-built also inspection by.
Well, the as-built that we were provided shows that it's 10 feet from the side lot line,
The original ad though,
the
the
original.
way you built it.
And the deck application I'm looking at shows that it's 10 feet from the side lot line and the extension was only going towards the
Do
rear
you know
lot
what permit number was?
I'll tell you what, second thought. I know there's some research has to be done here. Rather than postpone it to later or continue it later in the meeting. Let's continue it to our next meeting, which is next Wednesday.
Okay.
Okay, we can get some information together. The board can be, I think, more informed as to what we know what the issues are. It's just a matter of how to resolve. So let's get a continuation resolution to continue to the 12th of November.
So moved.
All right.
Second.
Okay, so we'll continue to, that's next Wednesday evening. And what we're looking for is a decision, resolution from staff as to what if any zoning concerns there still may be, to check to see if and when building permits and C of Os were issued for the deck. Any expansion, I guess, any permit work that was done on the property. And maybe pull out the original site plan when the house was built. That would help. All right. And if that could be put into the cloud, that would be helpful. All right. Sorry, folks, for taking so long on that one. All right, now we're moving to 2025-085
Resolution, I'm sorry.
Christine Brown.
I just didn't know if you voted on the resolution.
No, we didn't.
So we had a first and a second.
Yeah.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, CPN 2025-085, Christine Brown. Would like to have a tourist home rent out a bedroom and a bath in her home at 4575 Middle Cheshire. This has been on our agenda for a while. Christine has not been here to represent herself regarding this application. And we told her it would be on the agenda tonight again, and she was not available. But she did say she would be available next Wednesday. So let's
So moved.
move to
Second.
one more time.
Well, no.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Hate to do this to you folks, but we got another continuation coming in. This is CPN 2025-088, Jessica Schlossler. This is the one with the solar array on the property at 4410 Middle Cheshire Road. It's going to the ZBA this month because it's in the scenic view shed. And it would come before us if they're successful on December 9th. So I need extension, or maybe it was already continued to the 9th of December.
So moved.
I second.
So moved. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, we can finally, here's another one we can act on. This will not be continued, hopefully. It's CPN 2025-090. Logan, come on up front. This is the site plan for a property at 3904 County Route 16. You were in front of us last month,
Correct.
last meeting.
Yeah.
And we sent you home with some homework.
Yep.
And
I believe I addressed all those things that were mentioned at the last meeting. including MRB response letter, updates of the plan with concerns from the planning board. Some exhibits to kind of show steep slope disturbances, comparisons, update of existing trees over 6-inch caliber, things of that nature. We did update the site plan minimally with reducing pervious surface with the driveway based on my client's input, reducing construction costs and impervious surface. Couple of other elements were calculations for stormwater based on increased impervious surface and the infiltration trench. Put a grate drain at the end of the driveway that's recommended by Bob. And for the landscape plan, I did a comparison of trees to be removed and our proposed landscape plan, and I believe it's 16 trees being removed and 17 trees proposed, 2 shrubs and 24 grasses. So there is an increase in overall vegetation from existing to proposed.
Where are those metrics? Are they on the plan or are they part of the?
These are all located on the plans. I was just
Okay.
noting the changes that I made to the site plans that can be seen today.
Because that was, yeah, one of the concerns was the vast amount of trees being removed and
Right.
looking for supplementation of those trees
Yep.
to some degree.
Yep.
Okay, so
I am open to suggestions of increasing that number, but we are limited on space as far as location of those plant materials. If anything, they'd have to go to the rear, to the west of the house. But we're trying not to disturb any more of that
I don't think we
hillside.
want you to go any further away.
Yeah, so we can supplement with shrubs, increasing the number of shrubs in the front, but adding trees, I think is a little bit too much for us that we're comfortable with.
Mhm.
We put a substantial screen on the south side that increases the number of trees that we are taking away. And a lot of the trees that are existing that we're taking out are kind of scrubby and not of the best health per
Mhm.
se,
Mm-hmm,
so.
okay. Yeah, that up in the northeast corner of that's an existing maple, is it? Or it's a big tree, it's,
Well, there's a.
oh, that's on the neighbor's property, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's on the neighbor's property.
And that's
The
a
one
new one.
existing there is a big
Okay,
cottonwood. And it's kind of at its maturity right now, and it's a softer wood, it's not the best to preserve, in my opinion.
Eric, did you see the response to the MRB comments?
Took a look through, looks like most of them have been addressed, and there's without
That's good, and yeah, you did delineate the steep slopes and got into a little more detail on that, which we had asked you to do. We don't actually do a waiver from the scenic view, because it's in the scenic view shed, there's no way you can waive it, so. But essentially, you address that hopefully and the shoreline guidelines with the landscaping we just talked about. You did provide elevations of a home. Looking for that, you did show a retaining wall detail, which we had asked for, and you did the calculation of the average grade as far as the height of the building.
Yep.
Okay. Board, do you have any other issues?
I just had one, Logan.
Sure,
You're not doing anything on the lakeside, right?
not at all.
No, I just want to make sure that,
Yeah,
and then
no.
one other thing, I looked at your retaining walls.
Mhm.
I probably looked at it wrong. It says gabion, but it's not a gabion, it's a retaining wall, right? It's a stacked stone.
It's stacked stone. I think the label maybe. I may have grabbed it from other drawing and it was labeled incorrectly. I can update that.
Okay, I
Not a
got not
problem.
gabion.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
Perfect.
Anything else from the board?
No.
Public, anyone in the public want to address the board regarding this application? 3904 County Route 16. Not? Let's move ahead. I think we're ready to act. Secret of type 2. The single stage resolution, I would entertain a motion for both. If someone would like to do so.
I can get it started, so I think everyone's scrolling to get to it. I'll bundle the seeker type 2 and the single stage for 3904 County Road 16, it's CPN 25090. We had 10 conditions on the site plan. I think we're gonna go up to 11 perhaps for the retaining wall verification.
That's the only condition I have, is that the, for the retaining wall, people dies by the signature.
Cool.
Okay, and because this was a tear down and rebuild, the park and rec fee doesn't. All right, got a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, look,
Thank you.
thanks for help.
Have a nice night.
You too. All right. Now we have two applications for out on State Route 21 from Cox Engineering for two single-family homes on two separate lots. And I assume you're David Cox?
I am.
Okay, David. Welcome. Want to tell us a little bit what's happening out there?
Yep. And I'll just do my spiel once because it's pretty much the same for both.
I agree, and our questions are probably the same for both lots.
Yeah, I would agree. So we have two vacant pieces of property. They were previously ag land. One to the north being 15.1 acres and the one to the south being 6 acres. So two brothers each bought the lot and then want to put their single family houses on there. It is not next to Canandaigua Lake, so that is a little different than the previous applications.
Dave, I hate to do this. Are they the Doobie Brothers? Oh. Okay, I'm sorry. I couldn't resist. I'm a big fan.
More than you know. I worked in a jail, so I got that stuff.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Couldn't resist.
It's relatively straightforward, just access directly off of Route 21. There's a steep slope area in between the two properties, but there's no disturbance in between there. We're not taking down any trees. There's no wetlands that we're gonna be disturbing at all. We have submitted the septic system to the Canandaigua Lake Watershed Inspector. He's reviewed those plans, he's good with those. We submitted the final application to him for that. We've been in coordination with the DOT, the regional office is all set. They took them and shipped them off to the headquarters up there in Jefferson Road for their final review. So we're looking good with DOT, looking great on the septic. Besides that, it's a pretty straightforward. The remaining land is just gonna remain meadow. Yeah, I guess there's pretty straightforward application, just two single family homes.
Okay. Looking through my notes. Questions, huh? Okay, I guess on the subdivision, which was approved and signed and recorded, I guess.
Yep.
You did show the NR features, and I think there's hardwoods and steep slopes, and there's a question whether there's any wetlands on this property, or is there any?
There's no wetlands on the property.
Okay, I know it showed up on your seeker. type
Yeah,
one.
the EAF mapper flagged them because there is some wetlands to the south and to the east. So I
Mhm.
think it was within a buffer area, so the EAF mapper will check it, it's wetlands, but nothing remotely close to any of the houses.
Type 2. EMS controls. Did you show the areas of disturbance on both the plans?
Yes.
Yeah, I know that came up with PRC. As well as your ENS controls.
Yes,
soil
added those.
erosion. Okay. again, you said you're in with the NIDOT as far as your highway permit application, okay? And Tyler, you're making progress with him.
Yes.
That'll be a condition of any approval, getting approval of the septic system. Jim Fletcher had a comment regarding changing the water service from 1.5 inch to 1 inch service.
Yep, that's not.
I think that, yeah, that a condition that you comply with the superintendent of water, and that's Jim. Did go to the county planning board for review, and they ruled that it was exempt, this application, so no comments were received from them. Ag Committee and ECB, a lot of discussion in both committees were regarding the loss of farmland. The Ag Committee, I guess, well, the ECB sort of yielded to the Ag Committee as to their feelings, and they felt that, I guess, the east side of State Route 21 is not as critical as the west side. It is loss of some farmland, but I guess I won't say it was acceptable to them, but it wasn't an issue to the Ag Committee, so. And I guess, Kim, am I speaking for the ECB in terms of whatever you sort of deferred to the Ag? Okay. All right, anything else from the board?
No.
No. And you sort of sit up on the hill when you drive by there, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice location. Yeah, the
South.
south, yeah. Anybody in the group here or TV land want to address the board regarding this application? Okay, if not, let's move on. Okay, we have two applications. Let's take them separately. One is CPN 25-102, which is the lot 1. And if someone could make a motion regarding both the seeker and the site plan.
I'll make a motion to approve on this bundle seeker type 2 action and site plan approval on CPN 25-102. And an address to be known in the future at State Route 21. Has. Oops. 10. Been all fine.
10 conditions.
No other conditions to.
I'll second.
Okay, got a motion, a second on lot 1 for both the seeker and the site plan approval. For discussion, if not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that takes care of lot 1. Let's do lot 2, which is under CPN 25-107, I believe.
Mike Adamson, Chuck, for this combined resolution of CPN 25-107 for the single stage site plan resolution, as well as seeker for future address so that we determine that State Route 21 South and conditions as well.
Okay, very good. I'll accept
I
the
will
second.
So second that.
Okay, essentially the same conditions. So all in further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Nice carry. All right, David,
Thank you very
thank you.
much.
Would you like a copy of the draft
Oh,
with
yes,
the
please.
conditions on?
Yeah.
It applies to both. Sure. it's just- Yes, there you go. All right, thank you very much.
That's starting with. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, folks. Coming out. Okay, moving along now. We're up to CPN 2025-105, Mr. Harder, front and center. This is for the Reese residence, a site plan development, a single family dwelling on a vacant lot in the R130 zoning district. Project associated with a lot merger was a lot adjustment that was done and completed. And Scott, tell us a little about what the Reese want to do.
With me tonight are Peter and Shelley Reese, if you'd like to speak with them, or they'd like to speak with you after I'm done. They may have some details on the house if you're interested. I didn't really participate in the house design. They purchased two 1.2 acre parcels on the west side of Westlake Road, north of Menith Creek. They're proposing to build the single family home and the accessory structure as you see there. Some of the comments that we got since our initial submission related from, for example, the Environmental Conservation Board, trying to address disturbance. And since that edition of our plans, we completed our perk tests. And we're able to go with, working with Tyler, we were able to go with a smaller footprint wastewater system that's almost half the size of what we had proposed originally. So that reduces clearing because of that. We had shown a diversion swale on the west side of the accessory structure, the grading that goes up there. We removed that in favor of an infiltration trench, so we didn't have to do more disturbance in that direction. The design that's shown there is compliant with a number of constraints. One is, and I'm not sure if this is the most up-to-date version because I don't see.
You had one that was the 31st.
I sent one in actually last night.
Oh,
There's three from yesterday.
Yeah, let's see, I did the filed map. That one, site 10 sheets.
You want this one?
Nope,
that's
down one, it's down one. Right there.
right there, yeah.
Yep, that's the most recent one. So if you zoom in on that, you'll see that we have added, based on comments received, in addition to the wastewater system, a stormwater infiltration system that picks up the roof drains in compliance with your regs. When you take a look at all the things that you want us to do in terms of a 10% grade on the driveway and the wastewater systems and the infiltration systems, this is as compact as we can get. And I believe it stays within the bounds that the Environmental Conservation Board spoke about. They broke it out into disturbance related to driveway, house, and leach field. And so I indicated over in our numbers over on the right-hand side, I broke out those disturbance areas, which I think are within the limits that they were looking for. And I might also add that we're really only disturbing of this now merged property, which is larger than originally, obviously. We're disturbing roughly 0.65 acres of a 2.4 acre piece of property. So we are sensitive to the comments that came in. We are aware of the slopes that are there. The leach field is sited in one of the flattest areas, if that's the way to describe it. It's about a 17% slope, and that will require DOH approval just for the slope alone. And then the other slopes that I've shown there are a 10% slope for the driveway, a 1-on-3 slope for what I would call the front yard. And on the west side, matching up to the hillside on a 1-on-2 slope. When I take into consideration putting a house on this property and obeying all the constraints that I can think of, and then some, this is what we come up with to be compliant.
Okay. Well, you took care of a couple of questions I had. You said the limit of disturbance is 0.65?
Got it written down over on the
0.68.
right-hand side.
0.68.
0.68?
Yeah,
Okay. And you show the limits,
I didn't show my line, it didn't come through in the plot.
All you needed was another line on that.
Yeah, I need another one. I guess I was getting mesmerized. I got that out of my computer Sunday night. I was a little foggy, I guess. But I can show that line.
Yeah, I think so we know that you will not go into the forest or the woods any more than what your limits of disturbance would be. Have the Reese come up with an architect as far as the design of the house itself?
Yes.
Okay,
Would you like to speak
Tell
with
us a
them?
little bit about it. Yeah,
Just
just
come forward, Peter.
Yep.
So, can I go over just show you?
sure.
So what it is there's basically, this is actually gonna change just a slight amount. There's a wing here that'll be the 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. There'll be a center section that will have basically a glass wall, and that'll be the living area. And then there'll be this section that actually is gonna go more like that. That'll be the kitchen dining room area, and then the garage is off of that, and the garage will be more, actually more square,
So you're saying that footprint is gonna change?
a little bit,
Okay,
not much. I mean, the overall, it's gonna fit within this is exactly the same, this will change it to touch.
Mhm.
This will cut back, and this will come in a little bit. So that's all it's really gonna change.
okay.
I mean, that's significant, there's nothing.
Yeah, I just want to avoid your having to come back for
Yeah.
a amended plan, because you changed the layout of the house, so. Make sure that when Scott does the final,
Sure,
markup, that he's got the
sure.
footprint pretty well set. And I guess the reason for that question is as far as shoreline guidelines, guys,
It's way back.
boy,
on
it's
the road.
back. I mean, I think the biggest issue is, and it's a shame because there's so many beautiful trees in that lot. At least what I could see, I didn't go tromping into the woods, but at least along the frontage.
We're not gonna change the front trees, so there's a. I've gotta take down a couple of large trees here for the driveway, but there's whole section here. It's all forested, we're not gonna touch that, and we're not gonna touch. Like this entire area, this over here, I think I have to take, I don't know, I haven't talked to my septic guy yet. There's one large tree here, but the rest of these are all small trees in this area.
Mhm.
And then the rest of the lot, we're not gonna touch, because I don't wanna cut grass. I mean, you know, I like the forest, I like how it looks, where I was up the day walking around and it's.
Oh,
It's nice.
I
yeah.
really
the
don't-
value of the lot. I mean,
I really
that's
don't
it.
change that. So, and again, this area over here, other than what I had to move for the road, none of that changes.
Okay, well, again, when Scott shows the limits of disturbance, you make sure you exclude all those areas that you talked about that you won't be touching it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So other than coming
I
in
mean,
for the
so-
driveway,
Right, so the trees I wanna take down are within a perimeter of the building, so that if, you know, I mean, a tree
Okay.
falls down, I wanna take it down now rather than have it fall on my house and take it down. I mean, some of them are old trees,
okay.
you know, I like that, they have to label every tree and call it by name and then.
Well,
Sometimes we have a limits disturbance and a limits of clearing.
yeah,
So you don't have to label
Well,
clearance again.
wouldn't they sort of be one and the same in this case? or-
No, disturbance, when you be disturbing the ground versus clearing the land.
Yeah, clearing one is just the vegetative.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
Whichever one we did in this. city.
Well, he's got that cut in the back there that's. Yeah. I mean, you have to take this, so you gotta clear that.
Right.
Would your limits of clearing be different than your limits of disturbance?
As in moving soil,
Moving, yeah, actually, moving soil versus moving, taking down trees.
no, they're actually pretty close.
Okay,
They're pretty close. There's probably, some trees over here that I'm still debating if I wanna take, you know, I mean, I'm just worried about like
Mhm.
in the future. Some of the
Yeah.
old trees and, I want to have to take them down when it starts to fall on those, but I think that as a statement, yes, we're staying within the disturbance of the trees.
okay. I'm impressed you spent so much time looking at the trees up in there. That was concerned
I
that
spent way too much time on that.
some people, they don't realize what they have, they get in there with a bulldozer and then they start
No,
taking things out and.
no, that is not my intent at all. I
No,
mean,
I can tell you
we
that
originally
you
were
studied it.
looking for a forested area, but this came available, and if you walk up in there, it's a gorgeous forest because it's open enough that you can, even in the summertime, you can see through the forest. And so, and why would you change that? I mean, and especially on the road frontage, because it'll provide me some buffer between the road and everything else.
Yeah, sound and light and everything.
I won't, so,
Okay,
yeah.
very good. Thanks for the information. So we talked about the house elevations, the lot lines done. Limits of disturbance are gonna show. Stormwater was a concern, and Scott, you beat us to the punch on that, and you're providing a drainage system out front. See, Fletcher, water,
I did get some comments from Mike Murphy. And I replied back to those two and sent it off on Sunday night.
okay,
I noticed when I logged in tonight that I guess his comments originally went into the lot line amendment application, which was a separate application.
that's why I didn't see him, okay.
Yeah, that's why I didn't see him either, and so I just messaged him back directly. I took his markup and I marked up his markup and I sent it back to him.
Okay.
And I addressed his issues, I believe, completely.
that.
He's on the line, maybe he can corroborate that. I think there are a couple items that I have from Jim Fletcher that I haven't shown yet. I think he had wanted us to show a pressure reducing valve.
Yep.
And I think one other thing, so I think those are still outstanding.
Yeah, I think that was Jim's. Tree inventory, Mr. Reese has done a fine job in inventorying the trees. Anything else, board? All right, anybody in the audience like to address the board regarding this application? What's left of the audience? All right, if not, I guess we can move on to both the seeker, which is type 2 again, and the site plan.
I will make that motion to approve CPN 25-105 at County Road 16 for Peter and Shelley Rees for type 2 action and single stage site plan approval with the probably the 10 conditions, is that right?
Yeah, it's 12 now, yeah.
12 now.
The two new ones being,
Just one.
oh, one?
Yeah, this prior sign plans to be revised to include the limits of cities.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Get a motion a second?
So, can I ask a question? So the approval is, has got more conditions? Is that what we have to? Are they?
Yeah, a lot of them are standard operating procedure conditions. Making sure the water superintendent's met, you have to, the approval is good for 180 days. You have to
Okay.
provide a surety for soil stabilization.
Got it.
Make sure that Mike Murphy's comments are addressed. Make sure you got approval from Tyler on the septic system. You need a permit from the county highway department for the access.
Okay.
And there is a park and rec fee. All new construction has a park and rec fee associated with it. And the number 10, I assume in Scott's design of a septic, not septic, stormwater control system that would be addressed. The
Yeah.
plan to be revised, provide water quality preservation measures designed to manage the impacts of a 2 years design storm calculations provided.
Yes, we've done that, and
Sure.
you made me think, or made me remember. Because this has to go to DOH, and because of their turnaround time. In the past, we've asked you to allow this to go forward and obtain that prior to issuance of a CFO. And I guess we'd ask for that here as well, just
And condition number 6 is prior to issuance of a CFO approval for candidate auditor inspector and Department of Health regarding the review of the onset.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay.
Anything I noticed, Eric, I think you had said that based on a plan dated August 2025, I think the revision date is 10/1, 10/31. Excuse me. Halloween.
Actually, I think the one that came in. Well,
Yep.
last night was at 10/31 or 11/2.
So 11/2 is the one I have off the right now.
Somebody want to check the revision box? I think the one I saw was 10/31. Okay, so we got a secret resolution and combined with the site plan approval for discussion. If not, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, good luck, Reese's, and thank you
very much.
All right. It's like old friends are back here again with CPN 2024-117. It's a Peabody, Jared.
Good evening, members of the board.
And how we making out?
Well, we've got some positive news. This is the new landowner, Mr. Pritchard is here.
Oh.
We were able to, as you guys were going through the first couple of applications, we were able to step in the hallway and communicate, which was, we
Good.
hadn't really been able to.
So we didn't waste your time. That's,
You know, we're trying very much not to waste your time.
no, waste your time.
I think from and I'll speak that I had received a phone call the last few days from Mr. Pritchard's attorney indicating that he had received the lease package that we had prepared for, and this is for location 4, if you recall. We've applied for location 3 and given you further detail because we were having great difficulty reaching that, communicating regarding lot 4. Mr. Pritchard's very concerned that the board's going to proceed with location 3 without fully taking care of 4. We're telling you, he's indicated he's going to his attorney's office, he's prepared to sign the lease for location 4. In the last couple of days, didn't have a notary. Am I saying anything? He's going Wednesday. I received an email from Mr. Falvey today that he was going to be going on Wednesday to sign and they could be notarized. If we receive that scanned email, you will, in short order from there, I'll say it on the record, receive a letter from us asking to table this application for location 3 to allow us to complete the engineering necessary for location 4.
Wow.
All right, if we don't receive that before the next meeting, and again, we've waited anxiously for that, and Mr. Pritchard and I talked about it over there out in the hallway. He's indicating we shook on it that he's going to do that. If not, we ask that the application continue on its normal course. It does have to go to county planning for location 3. I fully expect that we're going to get a signed lease, and that's going to proceed with location 4.
Okay, because our current schedule is county planning board this month, back to us 25th.
Correct.
And what you're saying is that could be postponed.
It could,
Because you'll
Mr.
have
Chair, I'd like to keep it on and just to keep things moving.
Oh, we'll keep it
Unless including a county planning in case we don't get, again, I fully expect it based on the conversation, and you will get a letter from us both requesting it to be, assuming we get that signed lease, tabled it and extending the shot clock for location to into December or January. We understand that the engineering, assuming we have a lease, will take a couple months. So if that cases, I may then seek to extend the shot clock on the project into probably the second meeting in January, if that makes sense to everybody.
Okay. All right, so you'll let us know prior to the 25th as to,
I hope to let you know this week, so.
okay, let's, so we don't spend a lot of time looking at 3,
Correct.
location 3, okay.
Is there any issues with location 4 that the board's aware of before we get going? Now might be the time to tell us. I think you guys, we've vetted it a number of times, and again, you're gonna see a very similar tower design up into the woods, et cetera. So I think we beat it to death, and I don't want to take up any more of your time.
You haven't come up with a 15-foot high tower yet.
We're trying to.
Okay.
The picture you guys sent it?
Yeah, that's the last thing I want to talk,
November 26th.
that's right, it was the day after the meeting. So obviously, if you do decide to go with location 4, then you will give us.
That'll be included in our letter
Further
requesting it to be taken.
Okay.
Anything that I left out?
No, no, I just hope that the planning board is willing to allow site 4 without a lot of issue. It's the only thing. So that's the only request that I have.
Well, I don't want to speak for the whole board, but I think it was the preferred site, yes, yeah. Of all the ones that we looked at and. I think that's sort of the direction we're going.
I think we're good.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, thank you.
Need a continuation.
I think it's already continued. I don't know if we have to. Did you stick one in there?
I mean, yeah, I have a resolution prepared. That was my understanding that we continue from this.
All right, so let's to make every, belts and suspenders, let's we have one fine. If we have two, that's better. Why don't we have a continuation resolution motion for 25th?
November 25th, so moved.
Okay. Acknowledging that the shot clock is currently set for the 26th. All right, got a motion, second for discussion. If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, good luck.
Yes, thank you very
Richard.
much.
Are you farming that land now? Are you gonna farm that land? Which land? The one you own now?
The one you
That's why
purchased.
we buy land is farming.
Not always.
That's why we buy, that's
That's
why
good.
my family buys land is farming.
Good. Good to see.
That's what we do with it. For farmers.
I didn't know that, so but that's
Yeah.
good to see.
That's was the intention on buying that land was to farm it. That's why we bought it, because it was, the other option was a housing development, so.
Does location 4 work out better for you as a farmer to have it tucked in? I mean,
Yes,
in
location
the woods.
4 is much better than in the middle of a field.
yeah,
When we originally purchased the property, we bought it with the intention that it was gonna be in location 2, which was, in our understanding, it was down in near where the pond is, which really at that time, but then the planning board requested it be moved to site number 3, which put it right in the middle of a field. Doesn't make sense to us to have a cell phone tower in the middle of our field where we can't farm. So we would have lost the site for the cell tower. We would have essentially had to have maintained land on either side of the cell tower in between the properties, because one, you can't turn a 30-foot planter around in an area, 100-foot sprayer, you couldn't turn around in there to maintain the crops, so it would have been more lost land for us, so. The site 4 out of the
Okay.
woods would be a much better option for us as farmers,
okay, then we're all
no matter.
We're all pushing in the same direction
okay.
then. All right, thanks, Phyllis.
I don't think I'd be spending the holidays with you, but I guess we're gonna.
Right, cookie. Good night. Okay, we've got minutes that Karina circulated from 10:14 meeting. Any additional corrections, additions to the minutes? If not, give me a motion.
Second.
Motion second, Mark and Amanda, all in favor?
Aye.
I'm sorry, I was drinking.
Okay, we've got a letter credit request from our friends with Morel Builders, Piercebrook, section 2B. And it is in the amount of $161,425.71 for various improvements done in section 2B. Is the board willing to release the money? So moved. Okay,
Second.
and the motion second. For discussion, if not all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that is moved. Okay, we have on, under other business, discussion about CPN 2025-135. It's an amended site plan for Mobile Road. if you were here before the meeting started, I was back and forth with Anthony. They want to put that modular home that's sitting out in front of Stella's or there at the corner
Yeah.
back on a vacant lot, part of the subdivision. And one of the conditions of the approval was that the Mobile Road be improved and dedicated. Yep. Because we're just trying to get that done for once. And I guess Anthony has made a request, the applicants made a request that that dedication, there's so much involved in getting the road up to specs to have it being available for dedication. Is there a possibility of having that condition amended? And we're, other than presenting it tonight, it is a plat permit CPN number, right?
Mhm.
Is that, so look at it, if it's okay with the board, we'll put it in the agenda for the 12th meeting. And you'll have some time to review it. I'm looking for a response from Murph and Jim as to what their feelings would be, the ramifications of changing that condition. And what it would be changed to make sure they stay focused on getting that road improved, but in the same regard, give them a break so we can get that building off of 332. Yeah. So,
Couldn't we just restrict the C of O for completion and
TMO?
yeah, restrict the C of O until completion of the improvements.
Yeah, if we get the building moved now, if we restrict the C of O, you couldn't occupy it until dedication. I don't know if there's somebody ready to move into it, or they just want to get it off the property. Murph, are you familiar with the details? You have to be.
He can unmute himself.
Oh, we can. You know,
Just for a question, there's no notice sent out on this one, 100-foot notices.
yeah, I see.
But
Amended plan. It's an amendment of a condition.
Yeah, that's tough.
We've
It's done
amended
it.
This is a
conditions,
New
we've
York
amended
State-
conditions.
This isn't a New York State required public hearing notice, right? And does the code, the town's code specify like the number of days prior that it needs to be?
I looked for last week for something else and I couldn't find anything. We've tended to be 10 days or more out.
Try for 10 days, but we couldn't.
I
find
think
anything.
usually in open meetings law, it's days, 5 days,
It's like 72.
They said 72 hours,
Yeah.
they updated it last year.
that they have to receive notice 72 hours in advance. So if you mailed it tomorrow on a Tuesday, this is for the meeting on the 12th, is that what you're saying? You get it 72 hours in advance.
Okay, no, I appreciate your, as long as you can do that, otherwise I would have to wait till the 25th.
I should be able to make this up
Okay.
tomorrow. I don't believe there was a lot of
No, there's not, there's Geneco on the one side,
100-foot cuts it down.
and then you had a couple homes there on Mobile Road, probably, yep. Okay, the other thing is, with the other business, we've had sad news about Dan. Apparently his health issue has manifested to a greater degree, and he will not be able to serve as our alderman anymore. And so we accepted his resignation, and we're looking for another alderman. So that is,
Can you share what he's doing?
excuse me.
Do you know what he's dealing with? If you don't mind sharing. His health issue, do you know what he's dealing with?
Yeah,
If
I'm
you
not
don't
sure
mind
what,
sharing.
I'm not his doctor, and He did say that he's got thyroid cancer. And he's being treated at in Buffalo. And they're trying a new procedure on him. And this was diagnosed back in the summer. And he was hoping he'd be able to come back, but apparently it's metastasized and it's beyond the thyroid, so. He's got that to worry about, not us. So he's resigned. So if anybody knows anyone that would like to serve, I guess let Lindsay know. And I think there was one candidate that put his name forth, so he said either ZBA or.
I think Murph might be back on.
Okay. Murph? Hey, Michael Murphy.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey there. The thing with Mobile Road. They're requesting a revision of the condition, and certainly you have every right to ask that to be done before you would consider issuing any type of permit to move that structure. And I guess they're asking that the dedication not occur. One suggestion that Mark made was, could we amend the condition that the C of O for that building would not be issued until the improvements under the condition that we'd be revising were met, which I guess would be improvements and dedication of the road. Do you know if that is the intent, just to move the building, get it off the road, or do they have somebody that's ready to move in?
Chuck, to be honest with you, I really can't speak to what their intent is other than wanting to move the building. My office hasn't received any complaints on that building sitting there, so I'm not in a huge rush for it personally. The last meeting that we had with their representative was they suggested dedication prior to the issuance of the permit for the second lot, which would be the furthest one in. I'd be hesitant to require dedication prior to C of O just because that would put it onto my staff to keep track of, and it's kind of a lot. As some of you guys know, I'm gonna be down one guy for a while, so I prefer it not to be.
Okay. All right, well, no action will be taken this evening. We'll we'll talk to Jim about it, and any input you can give to help with our decision would be appreciated.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, anybody have anything else other than training?
That was I was gonna ask.
Kim was good enough to send out the training spreadsheets. And asked if anybody has any additions or corrections to let her know. I think everybody's in pretty good shape, though. Tim is showing nothing, but I know he attended Cooperstown, but it's up to Tim to notify you. So that would be at least his 4 hours, so he would be done. And I think everybody else is in pretty good shape. Okay, if you do want to take more training, there's the Federation Bundle training, which is a novel idea. I sent that out to you, I think, today. You can do it online. You can pick which bundle you want to, you're interested in, and sit in the comfort of your home and enjoy it. And also, MRB has 2 more boot camp programs before the end of the year. So one on solar, the one this month, right? And the other one's the
other one's
Santa's mix and match. Okay. I'm eventually gonna get to signing this thing. Anybody else have anything for the good of the group? Okay,
Motion to adjourn at 7.
don't look at that.
Yeah.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Send that to me,
What's that?
the training.
I sent it out to the both.
Today,
I was gonna say, could you